A man and his fiancée were heading home to hold their wedding, but in the time it took him to buy just a cup of coffee, his fiancée vanished without a trace. Her umbrella was still on the seat. It was pouring rain outside that day. There was no way she would leave in the heavy rain. Jeff searched every corner of the gas station, and only found his fiancée's hairpin at the entrance of the restroom. A bad premonition suddenly came over Jeff. He rushed to the police station to report the case at once. However, the police only made a simple registration. They said they had encountered too many similar cases. Many missing people would take the initiative to contact their families after disappearing for a while. Thinking about all the abnormal details of his fiancée's disappearance, Jeff had no choice but to investigate by himself. He went to his fiancée's house. As soon as he walked in, he found the room ransacked and in a complete mess. All of his fiancée's belongings were gone, just like the place had been broken into and robbed. Just then, Jeff received a phone call from the bank. The staff asked if his fiancée had told him anything unusual. It turned out that Jeff and his fiancée Anna had applied for a bank loan to buy a wedding house, but the credit investigation showed that Anna had filed for personal bankruptcy 4 years ago. With such a record, the loan could never be approved. The bank had called Anna to confirm the situation, but she hung up the phone directly, and it was right. After that she went missing. Jeff couldn't believe this at all. He insisted there must be an error in the bank's data. He firmly believed Anna was not that kind of person. The bank staff took out a copy of her bankruptcy application record, and all the information on it perfectly matched Anna's. Jeff recalled that the two had not even met 4 years ago. Could it be that Anna was really hiding a huge secret from him? The next day, Jeff went to Anna's company, hoping to talk to her close colleagues, but few people in the company knew her well. The only thing they could provide was a resume from when Anna was hired. Jeff called every company listed on the resume one by one, yet the results were beyond his expectation. Most companies on the resume either did not exist or had never had an employee named Anna. The entire resume was completely forged. By accident, Jeff found Anna's court judgment, every accepted court case, Leaves official records. He tracked down the lawyer in charge of this case back then to find out the truth of what happened years ago. The lawyer retrieved the bankruptcy application records from 4 years ago. Anna's first overdue credit card debt reached $350,000. After that, she kept borrowing money to pay off her debts. By the time she applied for bankruptcy, her total debt had accumulated to $80 million. The lawyer also revealed that Anna came to see him again 2 years ago. Her mother had a 50 million yuan insurance policy. After her mother passed away, Anna claimed all the compensation in full. A handwritten statement written by her was kept in the case file, but Jeff quickly spotted something wrong. He took out Anna's resume and found the handwriting was completely different from the statement. The lawyer quickly flipped to the last page of the statement. Not only the handwriting did not match, but the photo showed two entirely different women. The lawyer thought it was a case of mistaken identity at first, yet both women shared the exact same ID number. To figure out the truth, Jeff turned to his criminal police friend for help, asking him to look into Anna's whereabouts. After hearing Jeff's account, veteran detective John immediately grew alert and interested. The next day, John went to Anna's rental house and carefully inspected every corner. He discovered that all fingerprints in the room had been wiped clean. It looked like the resident left in a great hurry, but still had time to erase all fingerprints. What kind of secret was she hiding? Later, using his connections at the police station, John accessed Anna's personal files, which included all her previous residential addresses. One landlord had a deep impression of Anna. She moved out back then without a single word of notice. Sometime later, a parcel was delivered to her, and the landlord stored it in the warehouse. John opened the parcel, and inside were only some cosmetics and a plastic surgery appointment card. John rushed to the hospital to investigate, asking if they had ever treated a patient named Anna. After checking the records, the staff said she received treatment for skin allergies many years ago, and never came back again. The next day, John updated Jeff with all the investigation progress. Anna's mother passed away in 2008, and the $50 million insurance compensation was fully withdrawn. In March of the following year, the real Anna disappeared from her residence and workplace hotel at the same time. 2 months later, she moved into the current rental unit, and it was a completely different woman. She used Anna's ID number and controlled her bank accounts, and no one ever discovered the truth. There was only one reasonable explanation: the real Anna had been killed. John's words struck Jeff like a thunderbolt on a clear day. Anna was too kind to hurt even small animals. How could she be a cold-blooded murderer? Determined to uncover the truth, Jeff traveled to Anna's hometown. He showed her photo to locals and asked around, but no one recognized the woman in the picture. Just as he was about to give up, a man suddenly stopped him. Jeff thought he knew where Anna was, but the man rushed over and beat him violently, warning him never to come here again. At this moment, Jeff could no longer hold back his emotions. He had done nothing wrong, but was deceived by a woman he knew nothing about. Seeing Jeff losing control, the man was instantly confused and flustered. He had thought Jeff was a debt collector. It turned out Anna owed a huge amount of usury loans, and debt collectors often came here to cause trouble. This man was Anna's high school classmate. He mistook Jeff for a loan shark, which was why he attacked him. Jeff didn't take the conflict to heart. From the local elderly residents, he heard that Anna had a close friend living in Seoul. He wondered if they might recognize the person in the photo. The man took out their high school graduation album, and her best friend was named Lisa, who was also their classmate. Jeff thought this Lisa might be his fiancée, but the two women looked nothing alike. Meanwhile, John returned to the police station to investigate the cause of Anna's mother's death. Local police said that drowning in massive debts, Anna's mother could never live a peaceful life. She got dead drunk at street food stalls every day, until she slipped accidentally and fell down the steps. John suspected it was far from a simple accident. The steps were extremely steep and would freeze over in cold weather every winter. Many people died from falling there because Anna's mother held a huge Insurance policy rumors spread that Anna had pushed her mother down the steps on purpose. After that incident, Anna left for Seoul. Now, Lisa was their only last clue, but her phone was always unreachable. Jeff could only leave her a message, hoping she would contact him as soon as she saw it. On the way back, John accidentally saw a company transport vehicle. He recalled that the cosmetics in the fake Anna's parcel were all from this brand. On a whim, John followed the truck to the company. There, he found the fake Anna's photo, the company's employee photo wall. Her real name was Lena. With his police authority, John quickly found out her work details. Lena's position didn't allow her access to customer information, but the company was short-handed one day and asked her to input member data into the computer. No one noticed anything abnormal at that time until they later found part of the paper member files were missing. Since the electronic files were complete, the company did not pursue the matter further. John asked the staff to sort out a complete member list and found Anna's name on it. She became a company member in 2008 when she was receiving treatment for skin allergies. John obtained Lena's attendance records, and she took 4 days of leave on the exact same day. Coincidentally, Anna's mother died during that period. If her death was not an accident, Lena became the prime suspect. In addition, Lena had a divorce record in her past. It seemed Jeff was not the first person she had deceived. To find out what kind of person Lena really was, Jeff and John went to visit her ex-husband. After learning their purpose, the ex-husband was greatly shocked. He thought Lena had died a long time ago. Lena's father once ran a small factory. Due to poor business performance, he borrowed massive usury loans one after another. After her father disappeared, all the debts fell on Lena. Debt collectors came to her door every day back then. His parents were elderly and in poor health, fearing they could not bear the pressure. He chose to divorce Lena. The ex-husband gave them an address. Lena once said she would go to stay with her elder sister, so they might find new clues there. According to her sister's recollection, Lena was captured by gangsters on her way to seek shelter. She only showed up at her sister's door in a miserable state 1 year later. During that whole year, she was forced into sex work. Her sister then sent her to Seoul so she would not be easily found. 2 years ago in winter, Lena came back once. She had a high fever at that time, and her sister sent her to the hospital, as well as asking for sick leave from her company on her behalf. The group rushed to the hospital to check medical records, and found Lena's admission date was 1 day before Anna's mother's death. If Lena was hospitalized at that time, she could not be the murderer. Jeff finally let out a sigh of relief, but the medical worker's next sentence shocked him deeply. 1 day before Lena was hospitalized, her only child passed away. It turned out she gave birth to a baby girl in 2007. She never knew who the child's father was. The baby suffered from severe heart malformation and died soon after birth. Jeff completely collapsed after learning the whole truth. The fiancé he cherished more than anything turned out to be a cold liar and identity thief. On the way back, Jeff received a phone call from Lisa, Anna's best friend. Shortly after getting her mother's insurance money, the real Anna wanted to buy a proper cemetery plot for her mother. She even sent Lisa photos during site selection. John flipped through the photos one by one and unexpectedly found a group photo of Anna and Lena. Their speculation was finally confirmed. After stealing the customer list, Lena carefully selected her targets from the files. Women around her age, living alone. People like Anna, who had just lost her family and had few friends around, would never arouse suspicion even if she disappeared. After that, Lena began to stalk Anna, read her private letters, and monitor her every move. By chance, the two became friends, which marked the beginning of Anna's nightmare. That night, Lena brutally attacked and injured Anna. From then on, she took Anna's identity and started a new life. However, all of this was only speculation. Without a body, the murder case could not be filed. John asked his colleagues at the police station to investigate all female corpses discovered in the past 3 years to see if there was a match. Although Jeff had accepted that his fiancée was a liar, he could not let go of their 1-year relationship. John advised him not to dwell on the past, saying Lena might be living a normal life now. These words suddenly woke Jeff up. There were 122 people on the stolen member list. Could there be another victim as her next target? With the assistance of the police, they finally locked down a woman named Jingwei. She had no family, lived alone, and was the same age as Lena. They rushed to find Jingwei at once. Not long ago, she indeed met Lena at a sporting goods store. They used to be neighbors, but were not close, yet Lena recognized her at first sight. Delighted, Jingwei invited her to watch a magic show on the weekend. John asked her if she had encountered anything strange recently, such as tampered letters in the mailbox or harassing phone calls. Jingwei said for more than 3 years, the stalker had been harassing her constantly, and even smashed the glass of her house. That night, John and Jeff kept watch outside her door. Soon after, a man appeared nearby. He was the one who threw lollipops and broke Jingwei's glass in the daytime. John rushed forward and arrested him. It turned out the man had an unhealthy obsession with Jingwei. He had noticed a woman secretly stalking Jingwei recently. After John showed him Lena's photo, the man confirmed it was her without hesitation. The next day, police brought crucial news. 2 weeks ago, someone found a floating suitcase with a corpse inside on the water. After identification, the body was confirmed to be the long-missing Anna, and now they had both witness testimony and physical evidence. As long as Lena was arrested, she would be convicted. The weekend came soon. Police laid an ambush at the magic show venue in advance, but John had a strong sense of foreboding. If even a stalker had noticed Lena's abnormality, how could the cautious Lena fail to notice the police? If a third person knew her secret, would she still carry out her plan? At the same time, Jeff was at work. A shop assistant talked about a regular customer's experience. Someone gave her a cat, and she was going out with that friend today. Recently, this customer's letters were either opened or disappeared for no reason. Worried about leaving her pet at home alone, she boarded the cat at the pet shop temporarily. Jeff tensed up immediately after hearing this. He asked the shop assistant about the customer's family situation. The assistant replied her parents had passed away, and she lived alone in the countryside. No family, living alone, similar age. She fit Lena's target standards perfectly. After learning their meeting place was Yongsan Station, Jeff drove there at full speed. John called him on the way, but Jeff did not answer. He still had feelings for Lena, and did not want to involve the police. Helpless, John called the pet shop and learned Lena's new target and plan. John seized a car and rushed to Yongsan Station, while notifying the police of the emergency. The scene switched to the station. Jeff quickly found the female customer at the ticket office. He told her the whole story, and urged her to go home immediately, but when she walked down the elevator, Lena walked straight towards her. She greeted the woman warmly, yet received no response, only a frightened expression. Lena instantly realized she was exposed, but it was too late to escape. Jeff was standing at the other end of the elevator, waiting for her. They were intimate lovers not long ago, but now, they were complete strangers. Though the truth was clear, Jeff still held a trace of fantasy, hoping she was not responsible for those crimes. But Jeff's appearance meant all secrets were exposed. Lena finally confessed to everything she had done. She only wanted to survive, but kept sinking into darkness step by step. Jeff only had one question: had she ever loved him? Lena just shook her head. To Jeff was merely a pawn for her survival. Hearing the answer, Jeff was completely heartbroken. He agreed to let Lena leave, only begging her not to hurt anyone else again. John hid in the corner and witnessed everything. He chose to move after Jeff left. John rushed out and exposed Lena's true identity. He thought he had everything under control, but Lena put up a fierce resistance, kicked off her high heels and fled crazily. Outside the station, Jeff saw the arriving police cars. He knew Lena had nowhere to run, so he rushed back into the station to stop the tragedy, but he was too late. Lena had been cornered on the rooftop, facing the swarming police. She knew she could not escape. Lena's greatest wish in life was to become a butterfly, flying freely in the sky, living a carefree life. But the moment she killed Anna, her butterfly fell into the mire, never able to fly again. Lena climbed over the railing and jumped down from the rooftop. She no longer needed to live a life on the run. At this moment, she finally became herself again. And so, the story ends here. The movie The Train tells a story of desperate escape and the loss of identity. In the opening minutes of the film, Jeff, a successful man, was going home with his gentle and beautiful fiancée for their wedding. Yet within the short time of buying a cup of coffee, all his beautiful life vanished into thin air. As the investigation deepened, a chilling fact was revealed to everyone. The woman Jeff loved deeply had a fake name, fake identity, fake past, and fake social connections. This is the most terrifying part of the movie. In an era highly dependent on information, a person's existence can be easily erased and replaced. In this world, what on earth is real? I'm Jack's Movie. See you next time.